Reddit, what is the most messed up way you got back at someone that wronged you? Back in high school, I dated a girl for 6 months before she decided it wasn't working out anymore, and she cheated on me with about 6 guys and stole my iPhone and wallet to buy drugs. I wanted to report her to the police like my parents encouraged me to, and to prevent me from doing such, her brother jumped me while I was walking home with his friends and busted open my lip pretty badly and threatened to kill me if I reported him or his sister. This is South Florida, so I believed he would do it. My dad got a new job and we moved to a new city, but I was still pissed about this whole situation, so I did the next best thing. I created 2 fake Facebook accounts of a random hot girl and guy. Spent some time making it look legit with friends and such, and added her brother on Facebook with the girl and my ex with the guy. It wasn't too long before he started flirting me up and tried his best to get in this girl's pants. On the other hand, having already courted my now ex, I knew exactly what to say to charm her to the point that she was in love with me. This is where it all begins to get fun. I started a sexting relationship between the brother and sister with me as the intermediate thanks to Google Voice. Both of them had fairly typical South Florida bodies, so nothing really gave anything away, and I did a fair amount of photoshopping to remove identifiers in the room that may give away anything. This went on for about a month and a half, totaling about 200 or so nudes between the two of them, when I decided to reveal the curtain and send a group of unedited pictures that included key identifiers, face and rooms. Oh holy Jesus, how shit went down. I only wish I had some way to see how they reacted. Friends who still lived there told me her brother moved in with his dad that week and that they no longer spoke. All in all, about 4 months till I got my revenge, but it was amazing. I used to live in a very small town, like 250 to 300 people. We had no stores, gas stations, etc. One day a local guy decided to open up a little store that sold the basics like groceries and rented movies. He hired a few of us high school kids to work the store, and promised us $50 a week for the summer to be paid at the end of the summer. We agreed, and started working. We gave up a summer stocking shelves, cleaning the bathroom, lawn care and whatever else. Well, the end of the summer comes around. It's our last day of work, and he comes by with our paychecks. $50. For each of us. For the whole summer. Needless to say, we weren't too happy, but his words were, "What the fuck are you gonna do about it? Drop the key off at my house since you won't need it anymore." We came up with a plan to pay this douchebag back. Before locking up the store for the last time, we left a window unlocked. We dropped the key off at the house. Around midnight we were back at the store. Grabbed as much as we could, cigarettes, money from the register, candy. Probably about $1,000 worth of shit. Locked the window, then left through the emergency exit that had no alarm. There were also no cameras of any kind. Next day there were cops there. He accused all of us of doing it, but had no proof. He ended up having to shut down the store a few months later because the town heard how he didn't pay us and stopped doing business there. I don't feel bad. Fucker deserved it. My so-called best friend in primary school stole my shiny Pokemon cards. I was only 6 or so at the time, but that didn't stop me from being a sadistic little first grader and having older brothers. Well, let's just say I knew how things worked. Guess who found out the truth about Santa, the Tooth Fairy, and the Power Rangers all at once? Friend and I were fishing at a local creek when my friend's brother pulled up. Being the dick he normally was, he started throwing rocks in the creek to scare the fish, and then he threw my friend's bike in the creek. We were 13 at the time. My friend was crying and I felt so bad. I jumped into the creek and got his bike out, told him we would get his brother back. About a month later we were fishing again, and it was the dead of summer. I told my friend today is the day we get his brother back. Caught a 2-3 pound carp, threw it up on the side of the bank and left it there until we were done fishing. At the end of the night went back to his place. His brother's car was sitting on the street. We took the carp, sliced it open and threw it under the driver's seat, and rolled his windows 3-4 up. The next morning when we woke and left I forgot about what we had done. Well, when I rode past JT's car I noticed the window was kind of black, and then I took a closer look. It was covered in flies. I actually got scared because I did not expect to a window caked with flies. By the time I got home I was laughing in tears because his brother was always such a dick to us. Fast forward to baseball practice about 3 days later. Friend had a black eye but smiled at me when we made eye contact. His brother flipped out and ran into his house and punched him in the face. His mom flipped out on his brother. Brother was grounded for the rest of summer. His mom said that my friend would never do such a thing, and he played along and acted as if he had no idea. Apparently the smell never really left the car. We nicknamed his brother Lord of the Flies. I covered his ceiling fan with glitter. My past girlfriend cheated on me, and her roommate at the time had gotten to that point in their lease where they weren't super fond of each other and kept some distance. Her roommate was smoking hot, kind of bitches sometimes, and wasn't fond of my ex, so I decided to make a move on her. Best move ever. The look on my ex's face when her roommate walked me to the door in her underwear after the first night was priceless. We proceeded to have hot, dirty, loud sex almost nightly for next 8 weeks until their lease was up and for a while after that. My ex even walked in on us in the living room once. Kinda dickish, but goddamn was it fun, and there's no way I felt bad about it. When I was 13, I woke up in the middle of the night to a man laying next to me in my small bed, staring right at me. I looked at him all confused and told myself, "Oh, silly, you're having a nightmare." So I smiled at him, closed my eyes, and was about to fall back asleep when he started touching my thigh. 2 things happened at once. I realized that I was only in my bra and underwear, and that I was definitely not having a nightmare. Fear like I've never felt before gripped every inch of my body, and I think I stopped breathing. He started making his way up to my underwear, presumably to take them off. What did I do? I opened my eyes and I shit you not said, "Hold on a second, I have to pee." He looked shocked, but didn't stop me as I wrapped my blanket around my body and proceeded to take a few steps toward my bathroom. Then I noticed that my bedroom door was wide open, so I bolted. I ran to my mom's room, banged on the door, and screamed about how there was a man in my bedroom. My mom came out to the hallway and had just started reassuring me that it was a bad dream, when the fucker dashed out of my room and toward the front door. My mom froze, but I got the biggest sense of, how the fuck dare he try to rape me? That's when I grabbed a lamp, ripped the cord out of the wall socket as I started chasing him, insanely waving that lamp and screaming all the profanities that my 13-year-old mind has ever heard. I chased that fucker down the streets while my mom called the police. I lost him somewhere in the dark, but when the police came, got statements, and started searching the neighborhood, I got my revenge. They caught him hiding in the bushes, brought him over, and asked me to identify him. I marched right up to that motherfucker, kneed him in the balls, and walked away saying, "Hell yes, I want to press charges." My neighbor knocked my dad's motorcycle and simply left it on the floor. It smashed a mirror, and they didn't even leave their insurance details. My dad refused to call the police, saying they probably didn't notice, yet I saw them look at it and proceed to carry on with their usual lives. This annoyed me so much, I decided to call 20 taxis, 5 Chinese takeaways, and a stripper dressed as a policeman to their house, all for 1 a.m. in the morning. It was a really dickish thing to do, but we all do stupid things, right? What city has 20 different taxi services, or one service dumb enough to send 20 cars to one address? Please do tell. I told 5 different companies to send 4 taxis each, telling them it was a stag party where there were lots of people. Had to be there. Not me, my brother. When my younger brother was about 3, my father had to look after him for the day. The plan was that he, after asking his boss, would take him into work for the day. It was office work, and he was friendly with his boss, so my mum assumed it was no big deal. My father, however, didn't want a toddler distracting him all day, so he left him in the car with the radio on and a carton of apple juice. This is Britain, so it wouldn't overheat, but either way he was being an arse. At the end of the day he returned back to his car to drive home, expecting a sleeping toddler who wouldn't tell his mother a thing. Instead, upon his return, he found his son jumping up and down on the front seats to the radio on full blast, naked and laughing, slipping around and covered in shit. He had soiled himself, removed his nappy, his fecal matter everywhere. Shit was smeared all over the driver's seat, the windscreen, the steering wheel, the sat-nav, the driver's window, even hand-printed on the ceiling. Our dad didn't even know that toddlers could even produce this vast amount of turd. The only car seat that was completely untouched was his own. I lived incredibly well. And this, my friends, is the best revenge. Live your life. Succeed, prosper, When they see that, that'll be the best revenge. Do you have a similar story? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.